Good morning, everybody. It's Justice for Comics. It is Saturday morning. Kind of had the time here, so I figured I'd shoot a couple videos. This is the review of the Hot 10 comic list for the week from CBSI. Compilation of books that are on the move based on news, first appearances, that kind of good stuff. So I'll give you my review and take on things, and maybe you can hunt for these books. I think there's a couple on the list here that you still might be able to find out in the wild for a reasonable price. So I'll kind of review that with you guys. So let's jump into it here. Let me zoom in a little bit and we'll jump into number 10 on the list. A lot of people know about this book. It's been a hot title, no doubt about it. Something is Killing the Children. Number 1, this is the Jenny Frison variant. I believe there were 3 covers to this. A cover, which I liked. The B cover was a Jay Lee cover. That's the only one I didn't pick up. Probably should have. I think that's going to be one of the better books to have, is the one that nobody wanted to order. That's kind of how it goes. Sometimes the book that, the cover that people least care for sometimes ends up being the more sought after book because just a lot of people didn't order it. So like I pre-ordered the A cover, I pre-ordered the C cover, the Frison cover, but I didn't pre-order the B cover, and of course it's sold out. So that's the only one I missed, is the B cover by Jay Lee, but the Frison cover is definitely the best of the 3 in my opinion, and I think that's the reason it's on the list here at number 10. This is going to be an ongoing, apparently. James Tynion, who wrote for Detective Comics, good writer. I think there's a lot of promise to this series. If you don't have this book, this is one of the few times I would say go out and buy one, even if you've got to pay a little bit more than cover. I think long term it could be a really, really good investment. So yeah, make sure you grab at least 1 copy of Something is Killing the Children, and Frison would be obviously a nice one to get if you can find it. Finding it for cover might be difficult at this point, but yeah, I think if you could find it for $10, that would be worth it, if you could get it for that price. Excuse me. Number 9 on the list, the Spawn 300 Todd McFarlane 1 in 50 Virgin variant. So when the pre-orders came out on this book, it sold out super quick on Midtown. I wasn't able to get one, and obviously it's selling higher than ratio. It says here in the $65 range for near mint copies, 30% over ratio. Give it a little time. I mean, there's going to be pretty big print run. These 1 in 50 Virgin variants are not going to be that scarce. So I wouldn't chase this. I wouldn't be paying more than ratio. I think if you can find a deal near $50 and you really are into Spawn that much, that would be a good price, but I would not be paying more than $50 because you got to remember that it's based on the A cover print run, which is going to be high. I mean, we're talking A cover is going to be 100,000 copies, maybe more, 150. So that 1 in 50 Virgin variant is not that scarce. So don't overpay, in my opinion, on that. Amazing Spider-Man 347, classic cover, Eric Larson. Definitely not one of my favorite artists. In fact, I remember not collecting Amazing Spider-Man during that run because I didn't like Eric Larson. I just didn't think his artwork was that good. But the power of Donny Cates, he tweeted this cover and it automatically jumps $5 to $10. CBSI says, am I the only one that thinks this is one of the best Venom covers out there? I disagree. I don't think it's that great. Eric Larson is not that great of an artist. I like McFarlane's artwork way better. I don't know. I think the cover, I see why there's an appeal to the cover. Holding the skull of Spider-Man seems interesting, but I just don't think it's, I don't know. I just don't think it's that great. That's my opinion. Number 7 on the list, Invincible Iron Man, number 7. First appearance, I think, of Riri Williams, the female Iron Man, right? Iron Woman, however you want to say it. Yeah, I bought that issue. I got that for, I'm going to say I bought it for around $25, $30. I mean, it was already on the move because of her being the first appearance in that issue. It says here 9/8s are approaching the $200 mark. Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess that's good for me. I've got that in high grade, so I'm glad to see it moving up. Number 6 on the list, Stumptown number 1. Previously a $25 to $30 book, is now in the $40 to $50 range. Says here a couple weeks ago from its ABC premiere. Once the reviews come out, we'll probably have a better gauge on where this book will end up price-wise. So yeah, there's some hype on it. I don't know. It's probably a low print run, independent book. I believe it's an independent title. Let me see. Who was the publisher on that? Oni, yeah, Oni Press. So it looks like the regular A cover seems to be a little difficult to get. $75 they want for that? That's crazy. Yeah, that's just total hype right now. I would not pay that kind of price. I mean, this is $40 to $50 range. eBay right now, I see 1, 2, and 3, and 4 first prints starting bid at $70. There's a best, yeah, they can make an offer, I guess, but so that's not going to go lower than $70. You've got an A cover down here for $75. Yeah, I mean, that's, and there's not much for sale. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if you find that in a comic book shop, pick it up. I think the A cover is the one to get. A cover first print seems to be hard to find. I definitely would wait and see. Sometimes after the hype, after the show comes out, prices come way down, so just be aware of that. Number 5 on the list, Uncanny X-Force number 25. Yeah, I don't know what's significant about this book. Is this the first team up or something? It says the price jumped from $20. Oh, it jumped to $20, and then the Platt 1 in 50 is at $100. Yeah, I used to really like Stephen Platt back in the day. He used to draw for Liefeld, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so here's the Platt variant. Pretty cool. I mean, Platt, in my opinion, was a way better artist than Liefeld. And I don't know what happened to the guy. I don't know if he got involved in drugs. I don't know. He like literally dropped off the face of the planet. I don't know. I mean, I think he was making good money. Those Moon Knight covers that he did, or the Moon Knight series that he did, those are still go for pretty good money. This might be one of those books you might find out in the wild. You know, there's a lot of shop owners may not be aware that this is a hot title. So, Uncanny X-Force number 25. I do like that Platt cover. I mean, I liked Platt. I mean, I thought he was a really... And, you know, this isn't near as detailed as he used to be. What was that? Moon Knight number 55 that he did. I mean, that is some freaking detail. Look at this thing. In my opinion, I don't know. That's early Platt work. I think that was his first. I believe that was his first cover his first major cover artwork that he did. So he had a small run on Moon Knight that did really, really well. Notice starting bid 175 for that series. I've got them all too. I bought them all for cover price, and mine are all 9/8. I mean, I never read them, just bagged and boarded them, and that's it. But look at the detail on that book. So I don't know. I just think, I like the early Platt stuff more. I mean, that X-Force cover is cool. I mean, you can see some of that detail in this character here, right? You could see a lot of that detail, but he used to be really, really detailed. But on the front cover here with Wolverine, not a lot of detail. I mean, if I looked at that image right there, I wouldn't have known that that was Stephen Platt. But if I see that image up here, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like Platt because of all the detail. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think what happens is a lot of artists, as they get older, they change their style a little bit. And in some cases, I think they get a little lazier. It certainly takes more time to draw, a Moon Knight cover like this, where there's a copious amounts of detail in that cover. But that's what I like about it. I mean, I like the earlier Platt stuff more. All right, I ranted enough about that. Number 4 on the list is Batwing number 20. So I'll go ahead and disclose. Number 1 is going to be Batwing number 19, which I did pick up at an online store for $1.50. I kid you not, I literally bought this for $1.50. And I'm sure there was a number 20 probably for the same price. So stupidly, I didn't think that maybe I should buy the next issue. I got to always think of that. Whenever you're buying a first appearance, if you know, hey, okay, Batwing is 19 is the first appearance of this character, you should always buy the second issue after that. So I should have just known to buy number 20. I gotta keep remembering that. Because either the next issue is going to be a first full, or it's going to be a second appearance. So, just, I was lucky to get this for $1. I mean, literally, I got it for $1.50. And the shipping cost was higher than the price of the comic book. But I should have been a little bit wiser to understand that, yeah, maybe I should pick up number 20 as well. And I'm sure it was available, because right now, obviously, it's well known now. I looked on their website, and they want $35 for number 20. So it was available for probably $1.50, $3, whatever it was. And this thing's mint condition, too. I mean, it's beautiful shape. So not bad when you find a $1.50 book that's worth, according to CBSI here, this thing's approaching $100. Crazy. So number 3 on the list, Marvel Spotlight number 28. This is the first solo of Moon Knight. His first appearance is obviously Werewolf by Night number 32. That's a very, very expensive book. But the prices on these are getting high too. 9/8 just sold for $1,500. That's a lot of money for basically not really a key book. So yeah, if you find that in the wild, if you could find that raw condition for under $100, I think it's a good buy. But I would not be chasing the high prices on a graded book on that book. Number 2 on the list, Marvel Comics 1000, the Humberto Ramos Mickey Mouse variant. So that was available at the D23 Expo, the Marvel Disney Expo that they had. I guess there were plenty of copies available. There's a lot of them for sale on eBay. I mean, I looked and there's probably 30 of these, 40 of these for sale. Average price is probably $180 to $300 range. So $225, that sounds about right. Is this a long-term hold, question mark? I would say no. I would not buy this book. There's no first appearance in there that I know of. Okay, it's the first appearance of Mickey Mouse on a Marvel okay, yeah, whatever. Who cares? I don't think that's really that critical of an event. But, you know, if you want to go spend $200 on that book, go for it. I have a suspicion in a couple years, maybe in a year, you'll be able to find these for under $100. So that's just my opinion. I don't know. Same thing with this Batwing, number 19. This book's close to $100 now. I'm glad I picked one up. I mean, my investment was pretty low. I didn't spend a lot of money. But yeah, is this the time to sell it? Well, probably the time to sell it, it would be, you know, when they actually announce that he's replacing Batman. Yeah, that book will probably be a lot higher. And it is interesting, it says here that it had a low print run, only 13,000 books printed. So yeah, that's pretty low. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. You think I should unload this book that I spent $1.50 for? I sell it for $100? Or do you think I should wait a little while? Let it ferment. Let it bake a little longer. See if this thing gets higher. Who knows, right? So that's what I had for the Hot 10 list. Oh, there was a honorable mention down here that I thought was pretty cool. I don't care about Miracle Comics. Infamous Iron Man #1. The Esad Ribic 1 in 25 variant. I did pick that up originally when it came out, mainly because I'm a big Esad Ribic fan. So, yeah, you might be able to find that. That series did not do well. There was absolutely no speculation on it. I collected the full run, 1 through 12 or something like that. It didn't do well. None of the issues. I mean, I've seen most of the issues in dollar bins. So if you find that book out in the wild for probably ratio or less, I think it's a great buy. I guess it's the first artificial intelligence Tony Stark, and apparently Robert Downey Jr. is going to lend his voice for Tony Stark going forward. So he's not going to be playing him in a live action anymore, but his voice will be in cartoons and live animation, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, this definitely could be a nice key book to have, and doesn't hurt that it's a ribbit cover with a black background. So if you have that book in high grade, which I happen to have it, hold on to it. I think there could be higher value to it, but it looks like it's going for around $50 today. And it does say here the regular cover appears to be super cheap. So yeah, normally most of those books are cover price or less. But there are a couple of incentive covers in the first few issues that are worth picking up. So look for those if you're in the wild. Maybe you can find a good deal on one. I think that would be worth grabbing. So that's kind of what I had for today, guys, for the Hot 10 list. Leave me a comment, like and share my videos. Hit the bell for notifications. Yeah, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment on these books. What do you think of the list? What do you think of my Batwing #19? Should I sell it now, take the money and run, or should I hold on to it for a little longer term type of speculation there? All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll probably have another video out on Monday or Tuesday if there's any comic book news, but definitely every Wednesday. Look for my next video on new comic books that are coming out the following week. I'll give you an early preview on that. Hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe.